From one douchebag to an army of douchebags, I deliver you a message. Stop the insanity. Stop acting like such fucking idiots already, please. This video is addressed to those that would identify themselves as primarily WWE only fans, and also to those that identify themselves primarily as TNA only fans. You know, I sit there and I see the interactions of these two factions or groups of fans, if you will, on the internet. And on the one hand, it makes me laugh, and on the other hand, it's very sad and pathetic. I sit there and look at them, both sides, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It was just different if you were doing this shit 15 years ago when you had companies like WWF in the Attitude Era, you had WCW, you had ECW. You actually had companies that you could be proud of fighting for like this. You had companies that you could sit there and say, well, when WWF's having Mae Young give birth to a fucking hand, ECW is doing this, or WCW is doing that, or when WCW is sitting there and trotting out the same fucking old washed up fucks from the WWF, WWF's doing this, or ECW is doing this. You get the fucking point. You actually had companies that you could be proud of. You actually had companies that you wanted to fight for. You actually had companies, frankly, that you should have fought for. That was part of the thing that I thought made that era so great, was, you know, how passionately the fans got behind one company or another. Sure, you had that segment also that liked them all or most of them, but damn it all, I mean, that was part of the whole thing. People going on message boards and everything else and talking shit about the other company, knocking their ratings. Their fan base comes back at that. But it was a different time. It was a different place in the business. And when I see WWE solely fans or mostly TNA fans sitting there and doing this crap today, you know, newsflash, the Monday Night Wars are fucking over. This era of the business is no way, shape, or form anywhere close to that. Cut this shit out. I speak to TNA fans first. And you guys are morons. Because you know when you get into a debate with somebody that is a TNA bot about the TNA product, you see the same pathetically predictable pattern of piss poor behaviors and examples being put out there by those TNA bots. If you sit there and talk about the lack of consistency in the storytelling, you talk about this, you talk about that, the lack of build up to big shows like Bound for Glory, you know, all the stupid shit that TNA has done over the years, the lack of marketing, promotion, and advertising of their company, you know, all of these things that TNA deserves legit criticism for. Whenever you say that to a TNA fan or you talk about TNA in general in that way, the idiotic TNA bots will sit there and rush to the defense of their company, not by sitting there and trying to justify or trying to even excuse necessarily what their own company is doing, because there is no defense, there is no excuse. They try to sit there and spin it to the flip side like it's fucking politics or something, playing hot potato and saying, well, why don't you go watch the Muppets? Or why don't you go watch stupid dancing bunnies and all this other crap? Like TNA doesn't do their own stupid shit. You know, if you're going to sit there and bring that up, and that's the best you've got, you're not adding credibility to your argument. You're reducing the credibility to your argument. You, in fact, have completely squashed out and eliminated any credibility you have to your arguments, you stupid fucks. Cut the bullshit out. He likes Muppets. And he likes dancing bunnies. Oh, go watch Gators and Bulls in Suits. Okay, well, let's flip over to fucking TNA then and watch electrified cage matches, ninjas kidnapping wrestlers, guys getting hit with a barbed wire stick called Janice. All the while, after they get hit with it, they never ever show any fucking scars when it's possibly a weapon that should be able to kill people. Let's not talk about the same company that consistently has pushed the same type of people in the same type of spots for the same type of years. A company that after 12 plus years still can't effectively promote, or advertise their goddamn product. I could go on and on and on. Do we really want to talk about the stupid storylines at TNA? Orlando Jordan, just everything in general. The time traveling vampire lesbian storyline. Oh, that was a good one. TNA and their fans have no right to talk about any other company when it comes to inconsistencies in storylines, stupidity of characters, stupidity of anything your fucking company does. You just had Bound for Glory, which is supposed to be your biggest show of the year, that was used as a platform, as a device to promote a third-rate Japanese promotion in Wrestle 1. Just think about how stupid that is and how stupid TNA has been over the years. And did you ever think that while you sit there and want to blame the WWE Sheep for your company's problems, like the fans are the biggest fucking problem, did you ever think that actually TNA bots like yourself that sit there and mindlessly, aimlessly defend the fucking TNA product, create a bubble where TNA isolates themselves and thinks that everything is A-okay, knowing goddamn good and well that their company completely, totally fucking sucks? Maybe if you had more balls and more brains and you would sit there and stand up against the stupidity that TNA pulls off and demanded and expected better and challenged Dixie and Lagana and everybody Gaborik involved with that fucking operation to do better, maybe the goddamn company would do better. Stop worrying about WWE. They are in an entirely different stratosphere. It should not even be the first fucking concern to you. You're not even close to that level. You're never going to get to that level, frankly. So stop fucking worrying about it, because it's like comparing apples to oranges. But the only thing I think is worse than the fucking TNA bots are the goddamn WWE Sheep. I mean, this is the same WWE Sheep that'll sit there and defend shit like John Cena versus Randy Orton in another main event of yet another fucking main pay-per-view. Sitting there and trying to come up with some spin about how this is good. Ding dong, dumb dicks, it's not good. It's fucking stupid. It represents so many things of what is wrong with this fucking company today. What I think is even more sad and pathetic, though, are when the so-called WWE Sheep, as I might like to refer to them as, decide to exert their superiority because they support the bigger and more well-established brand by sitting there and pooning and knocking on TNA and what the fuck they do. WWE Sheep, how sad and pathetic are you to even concern yourself with or focus your attentions on a third-rate fucking wrestling promotion? This would be like TNA concerning themselves with a fucking random run-of-the-mill indie fed in freaking Tennessee that draws 50 people once a weekend. How stupid is that? Well, sometimes TNA draws 50 people in a weekend, but you get my point. You're sitting here at this level and you're throwing stones down to and talking shit about a company that's way down here. Maybe instead of getting your rocks off, knocking this fucking company and all their stupid shit that they do, maybe you should take that energy and those efforts and focus them and redirect them towards a company that used to be way up here, and over the years has dwindled themselves down to way down here. And newsflash, assholes, it's continuing to go down. It's not getting better. Reference Hell in a Cell, John Cena versus Randy Orton. This time, it fucking counts. Oh, baby. Catch the Breakfast Club fever. Why would WWE Sheep even be bothered with TNA? TNA should be so inconsequential, and their fans, frankly, should be so inconsequential to you. I don't know what's worse. Is TNA fans bringing up ridiculous things like the Muppets and fucking dancing poodles and, this type of dumb shit, even though they've done all types of dumb shit, or WWE people sitting there talking about this shit with TNA and that shit with TNA, when frankly you look at WWE, they're not doing a whole lot of shit better. They're coasting off of the infrastructure that the brand name has produced over 5 decades, and they are coasting in part because they are by far the biggest, most relevant, important, and successful show in town, even though they're frankly not as successful as they nearly believe themselves to be. And then you get like the TNA people that sit there and say, well, we've only been around for 12 years and da. What a bunch of horse shit. That's not an excuse, dumb fucks. It is not an excuse at all. If you go into business, let's say, and your business has been around 10 years, and this company's been around for 40 or 50 years, when you're looking at your bottom line, is it okay to say to yourself that, hey, this company's been around 3 decades longer than me, so you know what? Fucking we're just not going to do as well as them, and they're going to eventually drive us out of business. Or do you say, no, fuck that? They've been around for a long time. They're an old company, and they do things in an old way. We're a newer, fresher company with new, fresh ideas. And we say, fuck that. We're going to come in and take their fucking market share by doing things the right way, the way we need to be successful. This whole fucking notion or concept that this federation automatically, no matter what, is going to be better forever than this federation just because of the amount of time, I think is completely ridiculous and ludicrous. If that was the case, the business world, the most successful companies would just happen to be the ones that have been around the longest. There would be no reason to ever start up a small business or a new corporation at all. Why would you? Because you would have no fucking chance. This is the ridiculous logic of TNA fans. And then the WWE Sheep that sit there and talk all the time about this company's going out and this company's doing this, and they damn well might. But again, defying the odds, TNA has been around for over 12 years now. About 10 years longer than I thought they fucking were going to originally. And furthermore, you're talking about a WWE that sat there and, artificially inflated the value of their stock by pumping up what they expected to get on a TV deal and well under delivering compared to the expectations that they in part had set due to bullshit numbers and what have you, and misleading figures that were being presented. You have a WWE network that is underperforming a company that all these years later, as much as you want to talk about TNA pushing the same old faces in the same old ways in the same old spot. Again, I reference John Cena versus Randy Orton is main eventing fucking Hell in a Cell. To the dipwad TNA bots, to the idiotic WWE Sheep, bad. Could we come to a simple agreement here? Just leave each other the fuck alone. It's so stupid. TNA fans, worry about fucking TNA. Frankly, worry about whether TNA is going to be around long term. Worry about how that company is going to get better. If you're entertained by that, fine. Fuck it, go be entertained by that crappy company. But don't sit there and use outliers and lame-ass excuses and point to all these fucking things as reasons why your company is so much better. If your company was so much better, then why do they consistently fail to deliver a decent attendance for a live event? Why are they having to tape their TV shows so far ahead of time? Why are they getting such piss poor buy rates on their fucking pay-per-views? Why are they failed after all these years to still create new stars of their own that could carry the company into the long term? Worry about your own fucking company. The more energy you spend knocking WWE, maybe it could be reinvested in challenging TNA to do better. Because what doesn't help TNA is when you sit there and placate them and pacify them by sitting there and saying everything is A-OK, okie dokie. Well, it's fucking not. And you know it. Stop being so damn stubborn and stupid and just admit it. The first step to change is admitting you have a problem. You have a problem. And WWE Sheep, you have a problem too. Stop worrying about the TNA fans. They should be so inconsequential to you. At least I could say from TNA, they might have the redheaded stepchild complex, or they might have that inferiority complex. So I could understand their viewpoint more. They want to get noticed. They want their product they love. They want their company that they love to do better. They want them to grow. And they want to see real competition back in the business against the WWE and Vince McMahon, because they know when that happens, the industry is better for everybody involved. Why are you so fucking concerned about a company that is so far removed from anything that WWE is? Why are you fucking even worried about? Why are you even arguing with their fans? Why are you even engaging them in debate? It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It doesn't do you any good. And frankly, newsflash for you too, dumb dicks. The WWE ain't all that great. Maybe just like with TNA fans, instead of sitting there and focusing on the other company that shouldn't be any fucking concern or bother to you at this point in time, maybe you need to stop being such goddamn foolish, naive, overly optimistic sheep and start demanding better of the WWE and start putting your money where your fucking mouth is with the WWE and start demanding positive change that can impact this company both short term and the long term for all parties involved in a positive way. Just agree to disagree and leave each other the fuck alone. I know you won't, because you're all idiots. And that's the truth of the matter. And God bless you. It's fun to watch you be idiots.
But stop being such stupid fucking idiots. Worry about your own shit. Don't worry about the other companies. They should be inconsequential to you.